Okay, I just want to talk about this one peculiar week I had back in summer of 2019. It was a week where I caught on two different encounters somebody receiving or giving head. The first the first encounter was definitely the more intense one to write home about for sure. But the second one was definitely more casual. But it was just the phenomenon that it happened within like literally 2 days of each other is the part that I think is what I really want to analyze here. Like what was going on in the zeitgeist or um, public consciousness surrounding this time because I don't know, it's a very anomalous thing to catch that happening once, but then to catch it two times in the same within a 3 day span is definitely something that shouldn't just fly over your head. So the story about the first encounter, I was with my friend. Well, I don't drink or smoke. So I'm usually driving everybody's cars who do smoke and drink, and I'm usually the one who has to drive their car. Um, so let's just call him Hank, my friend Hank. Hank was Hank was tanked, and I had the lovely responsibility of driving his Nissan Rogue back home. And this was leaving Johnny McGorry's in Massapequa, my beloved town of the black hole of Massapequa. Very rare sighting that I'm ever there. But anyways, so we we leave the bar. We leave the bar and get into the Rogue. And if anyone is familiar with the parking lot, where okay, I'm trying to illustrate this, like where Carvel is, right? Like when you come out of McGorry's parking lot, you're looking at the back of Carvel. And this had to be this was like late August, right? It was really hot. I remember it was scorching, humid, and hot. And as soon as we come off the driveway coming out of the parking lot, we're facing the back of Carvel. And I see this guy hunched over. Like I see him, like I just see the back. Like I like faintly see this guy's back and he's like hunched over. He looks like he was crouching. And I thought like, "Oh, this is just somebody throwing up." Lo and behold, um I was like, "Yo, is that guy all right?" And I put the brights on. This guy was sucking this guy off who was all right. So there was this naked man and he had his back like up against the back door of Carvel. Like the gray silver door of Carvel, right? And this dude was ass fucking naked, just like totally ass naked, not like he had his shirt up and his pant. No, like he was fucking totally stripped down. Like it was just like this stocky like white looking guy, and he had hair all up and down his. It was like red hair all up and down his stomach and chest, and this dude was just leaning up against the gray door behind Carvel. So Hank is fucking oblivious to everything. He, our friendship dynamic is I'm usually the one that notices these types of things. Well, just in life in general, I always tend to be the person who notices these like anomalous things happening within my environment. And I don't know. There's a whole lot to be said about that as well, right? Like I could talk about that whole thing forever. But anyways, so he didn't even notice. Like he was like, I'm like, yo, I couldn't. I was so um I was just like starstruck. I was just so shocked by like what I was seeing, and I couldn't even get I was just like, yo, yo. Like, and Hank is just like, dude, you can't fucking stop here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo. I put the brights back on, and he sees it. He sees it happening, and he screams. He's like, ah, ah. And these guys just get up and they skirt off. But the thing was, they looked like our age, and I was like, oh shit, that would be fucking hilarious. Like if that was like somebody we knew from high school, like. I don't know, that I think that'd be funny, but anyways, so I was just like, okay. The first thing that comes to my mind is like, all right, I need to know these guys' story. Like, how did they end up here? Like, what is the context of like what led up to this moment? Like, did somebody lose a bet? Like, did someone, I don't know, did they have a dart game and someone lost? And like, that's I don't know. So, but anyways, I don't know. It's just like, I see something like that happening. It's like, yeah, the first thing I think of, like, okay, I want to know what the story is. So we drive around, like, I don't know where they skirt off, right? And then we go the other way. And then I'm like, fuck. So I circle around the block again. I circle back down Park, Main Street, wherever the fuck it is. And, the train station's right there. The train station's right across from the bar. And, like, looking around the blocks for, like, 5 minutes. And then we see in the train station, we just see, like, I thought I saw them out of the corner of my eye. Like, I was about to, like, kind of give up on, like, trying to find these guys. But then, like, I see them, like, I just see, like, out of the corner of my eye, like somebody on the ground. Like, it was, like, someone on the like, rolling around in the parking lot, like, underneath the train station. And I'm like, yo, I think that's them. I think that's them. And so, yeah, I go by them and we see them, and they're rolling, like it was okay. It it was like a shorter, white, like stocky looking Irish guy, and then it was like a tall, skinny, like Mediterranean, like Italian looking kid, and they are like intertwined and roll like rolling like across the fucking lot. And it was so weird because at first it looked like they were fighting. It looked like they were like fighting each other, but then they were like also making out at the same time. This is what was so strange about it. Like, you couldn't tell if they were fighting or trying to fuck. It was like a mixture of both. And like, I don't know. So we're like, oh shit, like, should we even go over to them? Because like, I don't know, like, were they gonna try to fight us or attack us? I don't know. Like, that would be fucking hilarious. Like, anyways, so park the car, and then we just start walking up to them. And they're still rolling. They're just still like, their clothes is all like torn up. There's like dirt all over his clothes, and like his, like, all you see is like a white Air Force One over there, black Air Force One over there, and like their shoes are like scattered everywhere. It was just like such a strange sight to behold. And again, like, they were making out, but like fighting. They were like clawing each other, but like making out at the same time. And so as we like get closer and closer, like the Irish looking kid, like he peeks, he's on top of this guy by now, and he peeks his head up. I don't know what this means. I still don't know what this means, and I want to figure it out. Like, what did he mean by this? I don't know what this meant. But he peeks his head up, like he's on top of the taller guy by now. He peeks his head up. He looks at us. He's like, yo, I'm chopping my boy down. That's the first thing he said. He goes, yo, I'm chopping my boy down. So then he gets up, and then like we just like ended up having like this 3-hour conversation with them. And they were really nice dudes. Like, they were just chill, like very down to earth. Like the Irish looking guy, his name was Christian, and the other guy was Vinny. And they were just really chill dudes. So the Christian guy was not gay, but his boy was. Like his boy that he was with, his best friend, said he was gay. So like, I mean, that was like the first thing I asked was like, what led up to this? He just simply replied like, like he literally like the Christian guy literally just simply replied. He's like, yeah, there was no girls at the bar tonight, so my homie just sucked my dick. Like that's what his voice sounded like too. That was literally his response. Like I swear to God. He's like, yeah, no, I never been sucked off by a guy or whatever, and it was just like, yeah, it was just no girls there. So I don't know. And that was really it. Like there really wasn't like any crazy story behind it, but yeah, I just think that was. I mean, like I said, it's like when I see things like that, I like to go towards it. Like, okay, I need to analyze this. Like, I need to figure out more. Like, what, like like what's going on here? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess to like, But anyways, so yeah, they were just cool guys. But it got to a point like we were talking, right? And then so Hank, my friend Hank, and then the Christian guy, they start talking about wrestling, and I swear to God, like for a second, like okay, do you like the? It was such a fucking Goodfellas moment with like fucking Joe Pesci, and he's like, you think I'm funny? Like that. Remember that scene where he's like, oh, I fucking amuse you. Like, oh, you think I'm funny? And then like for a second, like they genuinely thought like they were gonna fight for a second. That was the same thing that happened with Christian and my friend Hank. So they start talking about wrestling, and I don't know, like all of a sudden Christian out of nowhere, he was just like, "You want combat? You want combat?" He's like, "You want combat?" But he kept saying it, and he kept saying it, and like everyone's smile kind of like started to slowly melt. Like we were like at first we thought it was funny, and then like even his friend was like freaked out, and he just like, "You want combat? So you want combat? You want combat?" And my friend Hank, uh, like everyone just kind of got shook at that moment. We're like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't know. I think that would be fucking hilarious. Like that would be like I would have such mixed feelings about fighting a guy who has cock on his breath, you know? Um I don't know, dude. Like, that's the type of shit that like I that's what I'm saying. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so it's like shit like that that gives me that high of just like I don't know, like that's like my entertainment. My entertainment is like in life, is like in the world, and like I don't know, getting to witness like scenarios like that. Like that is like my kind of high. It's like, oh, you got to experience this type of moment that, is very rare to experience, and like get to know the people behind it. It was like, it was like interviewing like an athlete from like a play-by-play or something. And I don't know, to like kind of look at these moments very objectively, and it's just like, okay, like what's there to learn here? So that that was strange. I don't know. And then we ended it. I was like, I don't know why, but like, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna drink like an orange soda, and that was that. They got on their train and they left, and we never saw them. I should have got their like, I don't know. We should have kept in contact with them, but so that was the first story. That was the first encounter that week. The second encounter, it wasn't as fascinating, but it was like I go to this is when I started getting in like really getting into headspace. So funny, right? It was like the week I caught two different encounters of people getting head was when I was getting into headspace. I was starting to get into headspace meditating, right? And I would always go to like the dunes at the beach. Like I would drive all the way down to like all the way down Ocean Parkway and just like look for the dunes, like somewhere just really remote and isolated to meditate. And like, yeah, dude, okay, so that the first story I just told you, that happened on like Saturday, right? And then like, dude, this was like Monday. This was like me waking up Monday, like afternoon, going to meditate. And I hike all the way. I park, I fucking, take the hike all the way up the dunes and like, all the way to the fucking top. I get all the way to the fucking top. I have my t-shirt on my head and just like it felt very biblical, right? I get to the top. I look down. I see this dude with like a classic cliche, like red and white striped towel and his sunglasses. And he's just like this, and his girl is just going in on him, just sucking him off. But the funniest part was that he had fucking sunscreen on his nose. He had his sunglasses on, like a Gilligan's Island hat, and fucking suntan lotion on his fucking nose while he was just getting sucked off by his girl. And I was just too hot and fucking exhausted and dehydrated and to just like what I don't know, what are you going to do in that situation? Like if you like make it like didn't see me, like they had no idea I was there. Like I couldn't through my dehydration and dizziness. Like I didn't really see what was going on, and then I'm looking closer. I'm like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" And like wow, like I don't like good for you. Like it takes it's really hot out there. I mean, fuck. But like, what are you gonna do? Like you're not gonna say anything to them because then you just look like a fucking creep, right? Like it's like so I just like froze for a second and I just slowly started going down the fucking dune. Um like I don't know, dude. That was like that if that's not a sign for something, I don't fucking know what is. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. Like what is there to learn from that? I kind of look at the world like that. Kind of look at like when shit like that happens to me, I'm just like, okay, well, what am I supposed to learn from this? Like, what is this supposed to tell me? Like, what? I don't know. It's like if God doesn't have a sense of humor, then I don't fucking know. Like, if that is not just like a perfect, accurate representation of God having sense of humor, I don't fucking know. But like, I don't know. Ever since then, I haven't caught anyone getting head since then. But that was it. Like, what the fuck? Like, what do you do with that? Oh, actually, I lied. Well, it wasn't until the winter. I don't know. But you see people, yeah, I guess. But catching people getting head at Captree, I don't think that counts. Because it's like everyone's there to fuck and, like, get topped off or whatever. But, I don't know. That's the story. Like, that was my week of 2 different encounters of people getting dome. I don't know. I'll report back if I have any more. I definitely will, but definitely makes for great stories. Definitely great icebreakers. Definitely great icebreakers with like Uber passengers. But yeah, yeah, that's all I gotta say about those. But yeah, I definitely have a lot more Uber stories to tell. But I'll save that for the next video. Until then, yeah, I'm just starting this YouTube shit. Just starting to get used to like talking on a mic. This is actually the first vid. I actually said once I started YouTubing and like talking on the mic and shit, I like the first story I want to tell is the story of like me, witnessing on accident people getting head, the same week. So yeah, I'm just, gonna see how this goes. Like, I gotta see, like, I'm gonna make thumbnails and funny shit. I'm just gonna really just be very stream of consciousness. Like, I'm not gonna talk in a YouTube voice. I'm not gonna talk in, like, I don't know, some, like, projected vocal that's just inauthentic. Like, I have a lot of stories to tell. So, yeah, I don't know. Tune in next time. Peace.